Hey Jeti, what's the time?
14:24.
Okay, this is how to get your transmitter to speak the actual clock time to you. Now, you can do this on any transmitter from Jeti, but the reason it's come about is that in the new DC and DS24 version 2, Jeti has removed the clock display from the top there. And you can put it in if you want. You can go down to timer sensors, main screen, and choose what goes on the top bar. It defaults to flight modes, but you can choose system and the time. Trouble is then, it doesn't show what flight mode you're in, and I would rather see what flight mode I'm in there. So it would remove the flight mode and put in the clock time. And this has generated some comments on the internet of people saying they wish they still had the time, and I do because I sometimes used it, so please put it back in somehow, Jeti. But could they get it to speak the time to them? Now, of course, other people say, well, you've got a watch or your phone in your pocket, you know the time. But there are times when you're flying that it's handy to know what the actual time is, and being able to get the transmitter just to speak it to you would be good. You cannot do it by the usual means of like voice output, because in the sensors and variables it's just not there, or in single voice. Even if you look in the system, it's not offered to you. So how do we get it? Well, Dave McQueenie's added it into one of his lovely Lua apps, and it's an app I use on every model, short long switch, where I did, for fun, I just put this on a voice switch, but normally we'd add it to one of the physical switches. So let's just change it over, clear that out, pull that. I put it on a spring-loaded switch, and what this switch does is allow you in one press, two press, three press is one quick press, or two quick presses, or three quick presses, or a long press, is have the system read out some telemetry parameter, or even switch a function if you want. And it defaults to reading the hours and minutes. Press
14:27.
But if you want, if you change the decimals from 0 to 1 or 2, 1 will do fine, it will read the seconds as well.
14:27:30.
Now, if you already have this short press, long press switch app, you'll just need to pop to Jeti Studio and update to the latest version, because Dave's just added system clock into it. If you haven't got the app, stand by and I will show you how to get this app, because there's a particular web address you need to put into Jeti Studio to get it. And
if you've used Dave McQueenie's apps recently, then you don't need to redo this step. But if you've never used them, we need to put a line in the app sources. And if it's a while since you used Dave's apps, then the server where they're held has changed. So you would need to remove that line from the app sources and put in the new line. I will put the web address in the description box below this video. Please copy and paste it rather than trying to type it, because it's very dependent on capitals and lowercase. So if you copy and paste it, you'll get it exact. So we come up here to File, Configuration, and then open the Apps Sources tab. The route to get here is a little bit different for Apple computers, but I'm sorry, I don't know exactly what it is. And this is the line we're looking for here, this one. As I say, I will put it in the description box below. Please paste it in to a line on its own in the app sources. Say OK to that. Hook up your transmitter. Have a look in the Lua App Manager. As always, it will probably show something quite wrong, because it's not caught up with what the transmitters are and what's compatible. So always untick all three of these boxes, especially the show only compatible. The compatibility is that most apps, I think all of them, will work with the 12 and the 24 and the Generation 2 transmitters. Where the incompatibility exists is usually with the transmitters that have the monochrome screen. So that's the original 14 and 16, because they had very limited ability to run Lua apps. So we scroll down until we find the DFM apps, and there we are. That's the one you want. So click on that and press install. Unless you already have the app, in which case you need to update it to get the latest version, which will see the clock. So you press uninstall and then install. I'll also put a link at the end of this video for you to click on, or it will also be in the description box for the video about how to set up this app and the things you can do with it. It's a vital app as far as I'm concerned. I use it on every model I fly so that I can get the information I want. That's it, folks. Have fun with this.